I make great financial decisions. So today I have 5 DS lights with me, and these two are from my girlfriend. One was her sister's and one was hers. You can tell which one was her sister's. These both work, however the casings are a little bit nasty. So I'm going to be using these working ones to create a nice custom DS with this non-working one and this non-working one. So let's get right into this one. So now I'm going to do a cleaning time lapse, starting with this one, and then we'll get into what's wrong with each individual unit. As you saw in the time lapse, these stickers do not want to come off, so I'm just going to remove those now. After 25 minutes of scrubbing with nail varnish remover and almost stripping the paint off the hinge, I'm finally done. So now we're going to test them. The first pink unit has a cracked hinge, has alright looking screens. Well, in that case, the top and bottom screen both look good. Has a good battery in it, good buttons, good touch. The GBA slot works. The DS game slot also works fine. The only real issue with this console is the hinge. As this other pink DS has the nicer hinge out of the two, I'm going to be swapping the casings between the two. Both the other pink units are both fully functional. This black unit says it's charging, but when you open it and press the power button, nothing happens. So I'm unable to test it any further. So I'm going to take it apart and investigate it further in a moment. Finally, the nasty looking white unit charges for a second and then stops. I have reason to believe that it's water damaged. If you put a good battery in it, it does however turn on. So now we've tested all of the DS's, I'm going to start working on the first pink DS with a broken hinge. Remove battery and back. Yeah, this isn't going to be a tutorial, I'm just going to cut to when it's done, so bleh. So basically things very much didn't go to plan and I ended up breaking the touchscreen on this is the original pink one. This is my girlfriend's pink one that I literally just replaced the back on it because I literally, after finishing this one, I didn't want to do any more. So I just put everything else in that bag of parts and I'll come back to it later. And then I've got her sister's DS, which now has a nicer pink housing on it. So, and there's my tower of iPhones. I think this is an addiction at this point. Anyway, goodbye. This was a huge mess up. Also, I got my MacBook Pro working for like 10 minutes. It keeps shutting down after like 5 minutes when it recognizes the graphics card, but you know, it kind of works. Was this a waste of money? No, because I essentially got one fully working DS for the price of one fully working DS. I also have spare parts if the DS fails, and yeah, so, but would I do this again? No, because these things are absolute torture to take apart. But after what happened with my last DS, I needed another one, so now I have one. Last thing before I go, I made a bonus unit out of the spare parts. Ooh. It mostly works, but there's some water damage on here, so these buttons don't work, but I can fix that. And the hinge is a bit dodgy, but everything else works, so I'm happy with this. I have 2 DSs, my girlfriend has a custom DS, and the sister has a slightly nicer one than she did before. I think this worked out well.